All right, let's dive right into Dilip Chitra's incredibly moving poem, Father Returning Home. It's a short piece, but wow, it packs a powerful emotional punch. It tells a story that's not just about one man, but really about a whole generation caught in the gears of modern city life, wrestling with this feeling of alienation and just searching for a real connection.
So, the poem kicks off with a scene we can all picture, right? A man getting home after a long day, stepping off a crowded train. But here's the thing, this simple act of just coming home, it's way more complicated than it looks. The journey isn't just about getting from point A to point B, it's an emotional one too.
And that leads us to the real gut punch of this poem. It's the question that hangs over every single line. He arrives at his house, sure, but is he ever truly home? It's all about that massive difference between a physical place and that feeling of actually belonging. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start where the poem starts, with the father's daily commute on that late evening train. This is our first real glimpse into his deep sense of isolation. And right away, the poem just sets this mood. This isn't some vibrant, chatty train car. No, it's quiet. It's just silent commuters under this kind of sickly yellow light. He's surrounded by people, but you can just feel how utterly alone he is. And Chitria is a master of these tiny, perfect details that just build this picture of complete exhaustion. I mean, look at this. His eyes are unseeing. He's just so checked out that the world is a blur. His clothes are soggy, his raincoat's muddy, his bag is literally falling apart. Every single one of these details shows us a man who's just worn down, physically and emotionally, just ground down by the daily routine. So he gets off the train, and this is where the poem makes a shift. We go from that public train car to his private walk home. And this is where Chitra hits us with, honestly, one of the most incredible metaphors for feeling disconnected you'll ever read. Yeah, like a word dropped from a long sentence. Just let that sink in for a second. What a stunning image. It just perfectly nails that feeling of being, well, irrelevant, completely out of place. So what does that mean exactly? Well, if you drop a word from a long sentence, the sentence probably still makes sense, right? But it feels off, incomplete, awkward. And that is exactly how the father feels. Like he's this forgotten piece of a world that just keeps going on without him. He's no longer part of the main story. And you can see this dropped word feeling in the way he moves. The poem keeps saying he hurries. This isn't some relaxed walk home. It's this robotic, almost frantic rush. It's like he's trying to physically run away from that feeling of being irrelevant, just desperate to get away from the outside world and into what he hopes will be a safe space at home. And this is the real tragedy of the poem, that safe space he's rushing to, it isn't there. That same feeling of alienation he has on the train, it follows him right through the front door, right into the heart of his own family. And the welcome he gets? Weak tea and a stale chapati. I mean, you can almost taste how cold and unwelcoming that is. There's no warmth here, no comfort. He's not being recharged. It's just part two of the day's exhaustion. And this is such a perfect way to show the huge gap between his reality and what he actually wants. You've got his real life over here, stale food, silence. And then what he really craves over here, just a simple human connection, sharing a joke with his kids. And the poem just lays it out, bare and heartbreaking. His kids have often refused to share with him. This isn't a fluke, it's a pattern. There's this massive, uncrossable divide between them. They're sullen, they just don't talk to him. So the one place on earth he should feel like he belongs, he's basically invisible. So what do you do? Where do you go when you feel like an outsider everywhere, in the world and in your own home? Well, you retreat. You go inside your own head. And he finds the most private spot he can, the toilet. It's literally the only place he can be completely alone with his thoughts. So what's on his mind? And it's something huge. He's thinking about man's estrangement from a man-made world. Whoa. So this isn't just about his own personal sadness anymore. He's tapping into this bigger, universal feeling. The feeling that so many people get in modern cities, where you feel like just another cog in the machine. He's feeling that deep, weird disconnect from the very world that we humans created.
And once again, Chithre brings us right there with these incredibly small physical details. He trembles at the sink, the cold water on his hands. You can see the little water droplets on the gray hairs on his wrist. It all makes his vulnerability so real. You can feel how tired he is, how the years are weighing on him. So in the final part of the poem, the father finally finds an escape. It's the only one he has left. Since he can't connect with the present, his mind just starts to travel through time. And it's interesting, isn't it? He can't connect with the people right there in the room with him, but he can connect with the generations that aren't. He dreams about his ancestors, a past where he has roots, and his grandchildren, a future where he has a legacy. It's a comfort for sure, but a really bittersweet one. And then his mind goes even bigger. He starts thinking about this epic image of nomads entering a subcontinent. Just think about that contrast for a second. His tiny, quiet, lonely life in an apartment versus this massive, historic journey of people finding a new home. Maybe he sees a purpose in them, a sense of belonging that's just completely gone from his own life. And that's where the poem leaves us, with this really powerful, lingering question. The father comes back to his physical house every single night, but his spirit is homeless, which makes you wonder, what is home anyway? Is it just the building you live in, or is it a feeling, a connection? A connection that, for many in our modern world, feels harder and harder to find.